इसी से कर मेरा पीपीटी है ना।
हाँ तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, उसमें बोल रहा हूँ।
This one we have to continue ना today's आधा किया था।
क्या करते हैं NCERT से टेक्स्ट बुक आएगा? नहीं ये ना
Can you do it from home?
तो पार्ट 1 हो गया।
Yeah.
From beginning ये हो गया था वो आगे वाला हो गया था मुर्गी ऐसा था ना नहीं ज़्यादा
one part was done. ये सब नहीं हुआ था ना?
वो देखो ना वो बर्ड ऐसा मुर्गी के जैसा बर्ड खड़ा है बोर्ड पे ये वाला हो गया था ये हो गया था कंप्लीट इसके बाद वाला भी हो गया
God save the ancient mariner from the fiends that plague the dull. Why lookest thou with my crossbow? I shot the albatross. ये किया था ना? Remember fiends I said enemies. The sun rose upon the right, out of the sea came he, still hid in mist. This we will know. From currents. ठीक है, the sun rose upon the right. Too big now, it's become.
पीछे करो ना
नहीं उसको मत कर ये अपने आप बराबर हो जाए this is proper बस ऐसे
बड़ा फिर आग पे लगता है
हाँ so the sun now rose upon the right out of the sea came he refers to sun has been personified still hid in mist and on the left went down into the sea. So sun sets in the right and it rose in the right and set in the left. Now as the ship sailed.
Now as the ship sailed towards the north, the sun rose to its right. Again it seemed that the sun appeared out of the sea, as they were still engulfed in mist. The sun was not very bright and remained covered by the mist. It set and seemed to disappear into the sea and on their left.
So which words tell you that the sun was not very bright and remained covered by the mist? Still hid in mist. Then.
And the good southern wind still blew behind, but no sweet word did follow. Nor any way for the food or play came the mariners follow. मतलब जब वो लोग गुड साउथ की तरफ जा रहे थे गुडली मतलब नॉर्मली साउथ की तरफ जाते थे अभी कोई भी अच्छा सा स्वीट सा बर्ड उनको फॉलो नहीं कर रहा था
वो बर्ड why that bird was not following because he had killed him
और अभी मरीना के साथ खेलने के लिए या किसी को खाना खिलाने के लिए भी कोई नहीं
yes and didn't come to the mariner's call
कोई आया नहीं
correct
the favorable wind from the south still blew
भाई ने मत करा एक्चुअली वो अच्छे से कर
still blew and let them sail but the holy bird was not there any longer as it was there it no longer came to the ship for the food or the crew at the call of the sailor
now जल्दी लेट क्यों हो गया
हम रिक्शा पकड़े
दोनों रिक्शा फंस जाएंगे क्या बात
अगर ट्रैफिक मार अगर यहाँ पे रास्ते में वो करके ना फ्रूट वाले को रहता है तो मैं इसको मतलब हम नहीं फंसे तो रिक्शा फंस गई
अच्छा चलो ठीक है so we are on this we were continuing with it okay so now next slide this we did no
नहीं पढ़ा
अच्छा पढ़ लिया
as it was that it was no longer came to the ship for food or to play with the crew at the call of the sailor
we are on this para and I had done so last time we had done where he killed the bird with his crossbow अभी इसके पहले के एक तो स्टैंडर्ड में नहीं था that the sun rose and it set, but still there was mist, and there was no bird that came. Why no bird that came? It was killed. Then,
तो वो ऐसा lonely सा feel कर रहा था sailor.
हाँ. And I had done.
List him and it would work him go. For all Arab I had killed the bird that made the breeze to blow. A wretch, said they the bird to slay. They made the breeze to blow.
That way. So M is then. And I had done a hellish thing and would work and go. Work, then go. Great unhappiness and sorrow. Means now he is repentant. For all avowed means said firmly. Everyone said firmly. I had killed the bird that made the breeze to blow. That because of you now we are in trouble. Our wretch, they said, the bird to slay. Slay means to kill. That made the breeze to blow. Means if you wouldn't have killed the bird, then the breeze would have still continued blowing. Now because you have killed, you have done a wrong thing and it has led to more trouble.
The sailor confessed that he had committed a sin which brought a lot of unhappiness and sorrow. The ship's crew blamed him for killing the holy bird, which was a good omen, as it had brought the favorable wind which had helped them sail. They had that the sailor was. They said that the sailor was a criminal, as they had killed God's holy messenger, which had made the wind to blow.
First why he killed?
क्योंकि वो लोग बोल रहे थे ये
बैड ओमेन
ये गुड ओमेन
हम बोल रहे हैं गुड ओमेन था
हाँ
यू कंटिन्यू नॉट dim
nor red like God's own head, the glorious sun upraised, then all averred. I had killed the bird that brought the fog and mist. Was right, said they, such bird to slay, that bird the fog and mist.
So here upraised is rose up. Okay, here is upraised. The glorious sun rose up. Slay means kill. You read the explanation part.
As the ship reached a bit towards the north, the sun shone appropriately. It was neither dim nor too bright. Red in color, it looked perfect, just like the
halo surrounding God's head. What is halo? You know, भगवान के सिर के ऊपर ऐसा लाइट दिखाते हैं ना मॉर्निंग. That is
angel type.
The ship's crew was cheery to see the sun once again, and now it gave a opposite verdict. The crew said that the sailor had killed the bird who had brought fog and mist with it. They said that he was right in killing such a bird which had engulfed them with the depressing fog and mist. This shows that the crew was a fickle-minded and changed its opinion according to the changing circumstances.
Fickle-minded means? Fickle-minded word कभी मैंने और बताया था वो
ड्रामा में जूलियस
सीजर में एंथनी का स्पीच they changed their mind, that is called fickle-mindedness. So now when the wind came again, what they again started saying? He did a good thing by killing. He was right in killing such a bird. Okay. Then
the fair breeze blew, the white foam flew,
the furrow track formed by the ship as it sailed ahead. This behind what you can see, no? That is called the furrow.
We were the first that ever burst into that silent sea.
So foam is the bubbles formed on the surface of the sea because they had started sailing now.
The track formed the ship.
That is the furrow. So explanation only.
As a favorable wind blew, the ship sailed fast. As the ship sailed ahead, it left behind a white-colored foam, and its path on the surface of the sea. The sea was very quiet, and there was no sign of life. It seemed that the sailor ship was the first to have reached in that part of the world.
Okay, so now they again started moving and things were going good. Now,
Down, down from the breeze, the sails dropped down. 'Twas said as sad could be, and we did speak only to break the silence of the sea.
now again problem happened. All of a sudden the south wind stopped. And at the same time the ship also stopped sailing. The crew became sad as it was stranded in the middle of the sea. The only noise that could be heard in the silent sea was that of the crew members talking to each other. Because the sea was, there were no waves, there was no wind, and the ship was again stuck in that sea. So it was again
Obviously,
pin drop silence.
इसी की गलती है.
हाँ, फिर क्या हुआ?
All in the hot and copper sky, the bloody sun and moon, right up above the mast did stand, no bigger than the moon.
Read.
The weather was hot and the sky was full of copper color and emitted from the hot sun. The poet addresses the sun as bloody, sun as bloody. हाँ इसको थोड़ा सा बड़ा बहुत चिपका है.
वो नहीं होगा, इसका कुछ नहीं होगा.
वो बस ना फुल स्क्रीन कर दो तो थोड़ा सा सेकंड.
Not current.
Bloody because it seemed to be thirsty and sweat, and the blood of the ewe once again. The sun was right above the mast. It was overhead, which indicates that they were in the equatorial region. The sun was very huge in the size, just like a moon.
So what now again they were encountering? Hot sun, no wind, no waves, and they were stuck again. And they were in which area now? Near the equator. Direct sun rays.
Day after day, disturbed nor breath nor motion, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. The ship remained stranded in the sea for many days. In a painting, a ship remains still in a still sea. Similarly, the sailor's ship was motionless in the still sea.
So just like in a painting, the ship is not moving, no? Just like that, their ship remained stranded. It remains still.
Water, water everywhere, and all the birds did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drops of rain. There was water all around the ship. The wooden planks of the ship shrank due to the dry heat of the sun. The sailors were thirsty as the drinking water had finished. Although there was water all around, they did not have a drop to drink, as the sea water was salty, and so it was not fit for drinking.
Correct? So water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink because that's all salty water. Okay, and what other thing happened? The wooden planks of the ship shrank due to the dry heat, due to the heat of the sun.
सूख गए.
सूख गया, shrink हो गया. जैसे अभी rainy season है, so everything gets expanded, no? Like the adores, see, they get stuck, so they expand. And opposite when it is hot, then
The very deep road,
Rod.
oh grace,
rice.
Christ, that ever this should be, yeah, slimy things,
Slimy things.
slimy things did crawl with legs upon the slimy sea. The sailor prayed to God that he did not want to see that sight again when the deep sea rotting. There were slippery creatures crawling all around the slippery sea.
वो jellyfish, starfish, वैसा है.
And because there were no waves, no movement, na. So that's what we are talking about. Slimy. जब कोई ऐसे लेक होगा, तो लेक के ऊपर वो moss and all that जम जाता है ना. It doesn't happen in the sea. So now because the water is stagnant, it's not moving. So that's why we are talking about slimy, slippery, slithery creatures.
Still एक चीज को देख के वो लोग सब उसके तरफ ऐसा अट्रैक्ट होते हैं.
Attract नहीं, वो क्या कौन अट्रैक्ट होते हैं?
Jellyfish.
All the animals, those jellyfish and all those slimy sea creatures.
वो
And we are
लोग
talking
आजू
about,
बाजू आके घूमने.
हाँ, and we are talking about the sea rotting. Okay, हाँ, because movement नहीं हो रहा है ना. Okay, then about
तो देखो बढ़ रहा है.
कौन पढ़ रहा है?
मैं पढ़ूं? About
ये कौन पढ़ रहा है?
in green and road. The
Route. See,
route,
reel and route is their types of dances.
the dead fires dance at night. The water like a wishing oil, burnt green and blue and white. It seemed as if the fire of death danced around them doing various types of dances.
Why fire of death? It was hot, no?
The sea water was like the oil of a witch, which emitted different shades of green, blue, and white as it burned. This oil has been taken from Shakespeare's play titled Macbeth, in which the burned a magical oil which emitted different colors.
Okay, so it became even a more like a ghastly scene. Okay, where there was some witch trying to do some black magic on them. Continue.
And some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us so. 9.
Plague means it's like torture. That these are spirits that torture us. 9 fathoms.
demon जैसा लग रहा है.
He had followed us from the land of mist and snow.
Spirit is what? The soul of the dead albatross. So, and some in dreams assured were of the spirit that plagued us so. Means what are they saying? That this is the spirit of that albatross that you have killed, which is now taking its revenge on us. 9 fathoms deep, he had followed us from the land of his. Measurement of depth, fathoms. Some of the
crew members dreamed that the ghost of holy
albatross
albatross had followed their ship to take revenge for its murder. It had followed them at a distance of 9 fathoms under the sea and had been chasing them from the land of snow and mist where it had been shoot dead
shot them. Sailor. So means वहाँ से वो हमें follow कर रहा है, वो अपना revenge लेना. That's why we are able to find all these slimy creatures in the water.
And every tongue through utter drought was withered at the root. We could not speak no more than if we had been choked with soot.
So, and every tongue through utter drought. What is drought? Intense
Intense heat
and lack of water. Was withered at the root. Withered means lifeless and dry, because they were not getting any water to drink also. We could not speak no more than if we had been choked with soot. Soot is solid smoke, जैसे
कपूर को जलाते हैं तो black ऐसे
black ash जैसे निकलते हैं. That's soot.
The tongues of all the crew members had dried till the end due to
prolonged thirst. Means prolonged means बहुत time से thirsty होना.
They were unable to speak and their throats were dry as if they were full of dry sweat.
Next you read.
well a day what devil looks.
Swan में ठीक है, लोग दोनों ने पढ़ा पूरा भी पढ़. हाँ,
What devil looks had I from the youngest. Evil looks had I from old and young. Instead of the cross, the albatross about my neck was a yeah. All the crew members of the ship, old and young, started harshly at the sailor.
Stared harshly.
Stared harshly.
Why now are they staring harshly? तेरे वजह से ये सब हो रहा है.
गाली दे दी. Now why are they
हाँ? This is not the time. तू घर पे रहे और फिर drawing कर. पढ़ो.
They thought that they were suffering due to the curse bestowed upon them by the holy soul of Albatross. Uh, in order to punish the sailor for the sin committed by him, the cross was removed and instead the dead Albatross was hung
Around his
around his neck. It would remind him time and again of the grave sin committed by him.
So why was the albatross hung around his neck?
But
To remind him of the sin that he had committed. Okay, so the cross was removed because what he had done was unholy. Right? He had committed a crime. As per now what the people said, no? So what was done? That albatross was hung around his neck. Hmm. Okay. Because speech will have written. Now you're open, we are left with one poem, we'll do that today. The snake.
मैं पोएम रहता हूँ ना
नहीं रुक जा इसका मैंने यार
चीता बड़ा
आज हुआ है सर
हाँ वही
हाँ तो
अरे क्या
कोर्स तुम्हारा खत्म है क्या एक ही पोएम बाकी है
नहीं मैं मतलब इतना लेट क्लास में रखा है 6:30 से 8:30
टू एक्स प्लेस के लिए जो लोग पहले रेगुलर सीबीएसई था
उनका भी हुआ
तो उनका पूरा पेंडिंग 6:30
हाँ
तो मैंने
बोला ये लड़की लोग को पढ़ना नहीं
मैं बोलते था 8:30 तक ये पूछ रहे
हम इस बार क्या करेंगे खत्म हो गया
चलो
बाय मैम we'll meet next Friday
bye enjoy yourself
thank you
snake
ऐसा लग रहा है अभी निकल के आ जाएगा
अभी आयो तेरे को अटैक करने को ज्यादा तुम लोग बोलते हो ये क्यों है वो क्यों है सीधा
हम लगता है इसको पढ़ के देखो सांप की पूंछ पकड़ के तो फिर वो काटने
तो उसी के बारे में
हाँ तो सांप
अब उसने कुछ किया नहीं है लेकिन अभी दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है पूंछ पकड़ने का
हाँ तो पूंछ पकड़ा तो सांप
उसने कुछ किया है तेरे को तो ये पोएम में भी वैसे ही है
मतलब
वो बेचारा आता है पानी पीने को
लेकिन उसको मार के चला जाता है
हाँ
अरे माँ हम लोग ने एक बार ये खेले थे
अभी तू अपना चालू
सुनो ना
कर
एक छोटा सा
हमारी लास्ट में पढ़ते हैं
समरी लास्ट में कौन पढ़ता है भैया तुम लास्ट में पढ़ते हो समरी
एक एक पैराग्राफ पढ़ के पढ़े
नहीं पहला एक पढ़ो ये दो
पहले दो
सेकंड रीड टिल स्नेक ओके
हाँ ठीक है छोटा सा ही है चलिए सेकंड
फर्स्ट who's reading first
The poem talks about the peaceful coexistence between man and other creatures in the world. It also talks about man's sins and guilt, which he has when he fails to perform his duty of respecting these other creatures, which were God's creation.
कुछ
तो मैं काटेगा तो मार दूँ
काटा क्या
हाँ तो मेरे को It begins an extremely hot. It begins. हाँ begin ही है मैं begin ही पढ़ा मैं I'm sorry. It being an extremely hot day, the क्या देख रही हो ऐसे?
आप और बड़ा करके देख ध्यान से बोल भी नहीं भाई begin ही पढ़ा
extremely hot day. Thus, the poet comes to his water through the
water
trough to quench his thirst. क्या thirst? तू क्या हंस रही है? तो पूरियों करके देख रही है, मैं कुछ बोल रहा है. There he sees a golden brown snake already thinking water.
Thinking water.
अरे मैम मेरे को thinking दिखा. The drinking water. He is afraid and at the same time welcomes his guest. He considers himself next in turn and waits patiently of his turn. For his turn.
हो गया.
He is fascinated by this creation of God which seems harmless and whose only aim is to quench its thirst and retreat.
Retreat means go back.
The poet's inner voice asks him to kill it as it being golden brown in color, it is considered to be poisonous.
So what did the snake want to do? Drink water and go back. But he thought
the snake is unaware of the presence of the poet and in its natural way quenches its thirst and withdraws into the hole in the wall. When the snake is on its way into the hole, the poet is terrorized at the thought of the snake withdrawing into a world of darkness. He picks up a log of wood, hurls it at the snake. He misses it, but the snake senses danger and disappears into the hole in the haste. The poet is still fascinated by the snake, but a sense of guilt grips him. He regrets his act of trying to lead the snake. He finds similarity between this feeling of repentance.
Repentance means पछतावा होना.
To that of the ancient mariner who had killed the elephant.
Albatross. Previous chapter, Rime of the ancient mariner. So how he felt guilty, like that even he feels guilty.
He considers his act to be wrongful to meet his guest. He wishes that the snake comes back so that he can apologize and make amends for insulting the uncrowned king in exile in the underworld due to be crowned again.
But he hit him with a stone. Okay, so the first paragraph. Read for a while. At least the poet was repenting. If it's him, he would have not even repented. बेचारे वो लोग कुछ करते नहीं है.
अरे मैम देखो, अब मैं लपेटों पे चलने के लिए टाइम नहीं देगा. गेट पे वो सांप ऐसा लपेट के खड़ा है अपनी बॉडी को. मैं जिस रॉड को पकड़ा उसी रॉड को मैंने हाथ में सीधा जो पकड़ा था. सांप सीधा ऐसा देख रहा है मेरे को. मेरी 30 मिनट 40 मिनट फिर वापस आया. बांबू से उसको मारा. नीचे गिरा. फिर उसको बांबू से लेके
The snake came to my water trough.
Water trough is water trough is this where water is kept, no?
On a hot day, and I in pajama for the shade to drink there. In the deep, strange, scented shade of the great dark carob tree, I came down the steps with my pitcher.
So it is a hot day in which place is it? It is in Sicily, which is in Italy. Okay, and it's a very hot day. So snake came to my water trough, and he was in pajamas because in heat you're going to be in comfortable clothes. Jhanvi. So the poet was in his own house. So he went over there to get some water. In the deep, strange, scented shade of the great dark carob tree. So there was a big, huge carob tree, and it was below the shade of it. I came down the steps with my pitcher. Why you came with this pitcher?
To fetch water.
To fetch water, to get water from that trough. Okay, water trough, a vessel. See now, listen how you all will do it. One will read the para, one will read the meaning, one will read the explanation. Para, we'll exchange later. How many paras are there?
Yeah, 14.
14 and 3 of 12. So how will you divide? 4 उसकी. ठीक है? 5, 5, 4.
5, 5, 4.
So first para.
Snake came. ये हो गया ना?
ये किसने पढ़ा अभी? So first 5 you read. Then
मैम देखो 14
और
स्लाइड
पूरा का पूरा ही एक ही जन पढ़ो.
मैंने पहले बोल दिया था पहले.
सुनो.
अब एक स्लाइड एक पूरा.
पूरा का
14 स्लाइड है ना? 5 स्लाइड तेरे 5 स्लाइड तेरे 5 स्लाइड.
4.
हाँ 4. एक ही होता है.
इसका बड़ा वाला स्लाइड रहेगा मैम. ऐसा थोड़ी
वो जो
आएगा वो
जो बड़ा रहेगा साइड में वो ये पढ़ेगा.
मीनिंग पढ़.
a vessel which holds water. Carob tree, a red flower tree originally in the
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
अच्छा वही बोल रहा था मैं. जरा सा मिस्टेक हो गया.
pitcher, tall, round container with an open top and a large handle. The poet says that once upon a time, on a very hot day, a snake came to his water trough in the garden to quench its thirst. The poet was wearing his pajama and he had also gone to the trough to get some to get some water for himself. The air was filled with the shade and the fragrance of carob tree that stood in the garden. The poet was holding a pitcher to fill as he descended the stairs and walked towards the trough.
Figures of speech also write down in your books. Mark it para wise. You stop doing. Keep that inside. मेरे को पता है दिखाएगा कि लिख रहा है उधर करेगा कुछ और.
नहीं लिखूंगा.
लिख. So alliteration, repetition.
Sound strange.
S. Strange, centered, scent, shade. Repetition on a hot day. So why is he saying hot day 2 times? Because it was really very hot. To lay emphasis. And what is the transferred epithet here? Strange, scented, shade. Adjective strange, scented is used with shade, but it refers to the carob tree. Strange scent किसका था? Tree का. But he is saying strange scented shade. So it's transferring to the shade, not the tree.
Carob पे रहेगा ना smell पे.
You know what is he saying? Shade. Strange scented shade cannot be strange and scented, no? It's a tree. Okay?
क्या वो epithet मतलब?
Means it is known as epithet or transferred epithet. There, what you are saying is actually
Not
you
for
mean
nothing.
this, but it means it's used for something.
बिल्कुल बढ़िया.
तो पांच पार्ट में देगा और स्टार्ट.
And must stand and wait, for there he was at the trough before me. He reached down from a fissure in the earth wall in the gloom and trailed his yellow-brown
Slackness.
slackness down over the edge of the stone trough and rested his foot upon the stone bottom and where the water had dripped from the tap in a clearance, a small fissure, crack, gloom, darkness, yellow-brown slackness. The yellow-brown colored body of the snake moved slowly.
Slackness means slow moving.
Soft, delayed down, belly down. The snake's belly is soft and slimy and
Slimy.
And is turned upside
Down.
Clearness, puddle of clear water. Clear water. The poet thought that he must wait for his turn to fill the pitcher as the snake was there at the trough before him. The snake crawled out of a small crack in the wall. It was dark outside, its yellow-brown.
Dark inside. It had come from a small crack where it was dark. Now see, he reached down from a fissure. Fissure means
Crack.
from a crack in the earth wall in the gloom. Gloom means it was dark.
Its yellow-brown colored body crawled slowly. The soft belly of the snake moved over the edge of the trough made of stone. The snake rested its throat upon the base of the stony edge of the trough where water had dripped from the tap and got small particles.
No, you're not going to. I'm not going to sit here keeping a watch whether you're drawing or whether you're writing. There's no need. जब लिखना होगा तब लिख. ऐसे साइड में. हाँ. Now see one more thing. For there, he was at the trough before me. Now here, he is not referring to the snake as an it. So he means he is giving it the same respect as a human being should get. So here he is trying to show that an animal too must get the same amount of respect. And because another thing that he is saying here that he waited and must wait, must stand and wait for he was there at the truck before me. Like if we go out somewhere and there's a cooler there, there's someone in front of us. So what are we going to do? We'll wait. So here he is giving it the same respect as he would have given to a human being.
अच्छा वो रुका
हाँ वो वेट किया कि वो मेरे पहले आया है स्नेक तो मुझे वेट करना चाहिए
हाँ, उसे कैसे पता चला वो भी
It's not about he or she. It's about him giving the respect. Now don't ask stupid and silly questions, please. मजाक नहीं चल रहा. Okay. This all he read, she read. And mark the figures of speeches. Must is a repetition and must wait, must stand, which means it is compulsory, mandatory for him to wait for this turn. Understood this para clearly? Use your brains in where you should, not where you shouldn't. कुछ भी stupid thing पूछती है. Next.
He sipped with his straight mouth, softly drank through his straight gums into his slack, long body silently. Someone was before me at my water troughs, and I like like a
Second
like a
comer.
second comer waiting. He lifted his head from his drinking as cattle do. Loose lazy. The snake sipped the water through its soft mouth. It was silent as it drank the water which flowed through its gum into its long body. The poet says that someone was there at his water trough before him and he had to wait for his turn. When it drank some water, it paused drinking and turned his head to look around just like cattle do.
Okay, so what cattle do? They'll eat, they'll drink, they'll see, they'll put their heads up, they'll see, again they'll drink. So similar thing, even this snake did. Like a second comer means the author had come was second in queue.
हम वो जो सिमिलियर लिटरेसी वाला उसमें पहला वाला कैसे सिमिलियर उसमें तो एज लाइक कुछ नहीं
As cattle. Okay, and the second one has I like a second comer. So that's a synonym. Next.
And looked at me.
Continue. And flickered is two fork tongue. Yeah.
And looked at me
Vaguely.
vaguely as blinking.
That is there here also, no? No, it's repeated again.
And looked at me vaguely as drinking cattle do, and flickered his two forked tongues.
This is two fork. तो fork होता है ना ऐसा?
वो फूड खाने वाला
हाँ.
And mused the movement from his lips. And used the movement and stooped and drank a little more, being earth, brown earth, golden from the burning pools of the earth on the day of Sicilian July with
Etna. Etna is a volcano.
volcano
Huh? So it's an active volcano. So then they are saying that it was so hot because it was July in Sicily. Sicilian July means month of July in this place called Sicily. And also the volcano was burning. So more heat. Vaguely means not clearly, passing glance.
flickered, moved, mused, think about, stoop, bend forward, vowels, bottom of the earth,
Sicilian July.
Sicilian July refers to the intense hot month of July on the island of Sicily. Etna smoking refers to Mount Etna located in Sicily, is an active volcano and emits smoke. The snake looked at the poet also when it lifted its head just like cattle do. Then it moved its two forked tongue through its lips. It seemed as if it was thinking something. Then the snake bent forward and drank some more water. The poet says that the color of the snake's body was an earthy mix of golden and brown. Probably it was because it lived inside the bottom of the earth, which was burning hot due to two reasons. The first was that it was the summer season, and secondly, the Mount Etna located there was an active volcano which emitted a lot of hot lava and fire. This indicates that the earth was hot inside.
Okay, so I looked at me vaguely means not with any kind of focus. ऐसे generally कि हाँ कौन आया है and as drinking cattle do and flickered its two forked tongue from its lips and mused a moment and stooped again it thought for some time and again it bent down, drank little more water, being earth brown or golden from the burning bowels means snakes are supposed to live in burrows, no, under the earth. So that's why we are referring to it as bowels of the earth. On this day of Sicilian July with Etna burning, smoking. Figure of speech. You are not writing. कहाँ लिखा फिर? हाँ?
जरूर पढ़ रहे थे सब।
अभी तुम लोग कभी मत लिखो, ज्यादा तुम लोग शॉर्टकट मारो। जब पढ़ती है तो देखो और ज्ञान लो इसके। You are getting time afterwards, no? To write and read sometime, no? पर काम खत्म करके ये भी करते हैं,
तो हो जाएगा ना वो जल्दी जल्दी साथ
तो जल्दी क्या है? You getting time, no? हमारे से अरे जल्दी करो, उसने मार्क किया ना अभी, तो फिर लोग बड़ा काम करते हैं।
The voice of my
How many
education
English?
the voice of my education said to me, we must be careful.
Like how voice of his education take.
अरे आप अब तो देख रहे हो ना उधर
Now nobody will mark any figures of speech. At the end I will again scroll. एक बार बोलने के बाद भी समझना नहीं. Voice of my education now tells me that a snake is dangerous and you must pull it by its tail. So what the voice of his education also said the same thing. It must be killed.
For in Sicily, the black snakes are innocent, the gold are venomous. And voices in me said, if you were a man, you would take a stick and break him now and finish him off.
And that's all fake. That's all fake. Or if you're a man, to be speaking probably, man. Man, yes, it's a man to, it's man enough to kill innocent people. That's a man, no? Venomous?
Poison.
Uh,
The poet had learned in his schooling that a snake was dangerous and should be killed. It was a belief in Sicily that the black-colored snake were harmless while the golden-colored were poisonous.
And this was a golden one.
The
Mardana. Unnecessary.
The poet's conscience challenged him to prove his
masculinity
by killing the snake with a stick.
Reputation. This is not now. Not now, afterwards.
But must I confess how I liked him, how glad I was he had come as a guest in a quite great at my water drop and depart peaceful, pacified and thankless into the burning bowels of earth. Was it
Cowardice
that I dared not kill him? Was it perversity that I longed to talk to him? Was it humility to feel so honored? Confess, admit his guilt, glad, happy, depart, free, pacified, to be at peace, burning balls of this earth, reference to the hot bottom of Mount Etna, which is a volcano. Cowardice, lack of bravery, perversity, the quality of being unreasonable, illogical. The poet admits that he had developed a liking for the snake. He was happy to have a guest at his water trough. The snake had come peacefully to quench its thirst. It did not intend to harm anyone and was retreating back into the bottom through the crack in the wall.
right? What was it doing? It was going back.
It had quenched its thirst and was satisfied now, although it did not thank the poet, but it did not even harm him. The poet pondered upon his decision of not killing the snake. He thought whether it was due to lack of bravery that he did not have the courage to kill it. Maybe he was attracted to the snake and wanted to befriend it. Actually, he was thankful to the snake for being a guest at his water drop and so did not want to kill his guest.
Right? Because he came like a guest. So do we kill our guest? If any guest comes, we'll offer it water and they'll go. Will we cause harm? Especially when the guest is not causing any harm to us. But then still at the back of his mind, he felt that I am not going to kill it. Does that show that I am a coward? Means should I kill it?
I felt so honored, and yet those forces, if you were not afraid, you would kill them. And truly, I was afraid. I was most afraid, but even so honored, still thought I should seek my hospitality, friendly welcome.
Means if your host and your guests come, you treat your guests well. It shows that you're being hospitable.
The poet felt that he had been honored by the snake who had appeared at his water trough as a guest. The inner voices inside the poet kept on nudging him to kill the snake. The poet said that he was afraid of the snake and did not have enough courage to kill it. Beyond that, he felt obliged to have obliged to have another guest. The feeling of being hospitable to his guests overpowered the inner voice which urged him to kill the snake.
Overpowered means what now? Inner voice was saying, kill the snake. But what was more powerful is, don't kill the snake. He is a guest. He is not causing me any harm. He just came to drink water and he is leaving. So don't kill.
From out the dark door of the secret earth, he drank enough and lifted his head dreamily as one who has drunken, and flickered his tongue like a fog night on the air, so black, seeming to lick his lips. Dark door of secret earth, referring to the hole from where the snake has crawled out of the earth. The poet recapitulates the incident. He says that the snake crawled out from the crack.
Recapitulates means
He said
revise the incident.
He says that the snake crawled out from the crack in the wall. It came from the dark depths of the earth. After drinking water, it lifted and turned its head like a person who is under the influence of alcohol. It moved its forked tongue out of its mouth. It was black in color and it seemed that the snake was licking its lips. And looked around like a god and seemed into the air and slowly turned his head and very slowly, as if tried at a dream, proceeded to draw his slow length curving round and climb again the broken bank of face of the wall of the poet's garden.
Right, so there was a wall and there was a crack where he was going back.
The snake looked around it and retained some expression.
Same expression.
Same expression, just like God sees equally upon everything.
Right, because he didn't focus. What was that word, Vika? You had read? Vaguely. Right? So he just looked up and he again continued. So that's what we are calling those expressions like that of God, where God sees everything equal.
It turned its head very slowly as if it was dreaming. Then the snake started moving its coiled body, climbing towards the crack in the wall of the poet's garden. Then,
And as he put his head into the dread hole, and as he slowly drew up, snake easing his
Which one there back into the fissure from the crack from where it came. It was going back.
dreadful hole, and he slowly drew up. Snake easing his shoulders and entered farther. A short of horror, a short of protest.
शॉर्ट एक बार बोला ठीक है दूसरी बार भी शॉर्ट शॉर्ट बोलता है शॉर्ट शॉर्ट a sort of horror,
Sort of protest against his withdrawing into the horrid black hole, deliberately going into the blackness and slowly drawing himself after overcame me. Now his back was turned. Dreadful, terrible, horrid, causing horror. Explanation as the snake started entering the crack and it bent its shoulder to enter the narrow opening. The pole was filled by the pressure against the snake retreat. Now the snake had his back towards the boy. The boy had a change of heart. He was not happy to see the snake leaving.
so what it must have been like a challenge now. Do you think I'm going to let you go? And secondly, he might have been afraid at that time because the snake was facing him. Now his back was turned towards him. Now he feels like attacking me. See, this is that trust.
I looked around, I put toward my care, I put down my Gujarati drum.
देखो अभी का आज तो कौन सा लगे पर मैं एक्सेस कर रहा हूँ
दो हजार ऐसा पास में।
अच्छा तो दूर करूँ
मैं रहने दो फिर वो ऐसे क्लोज हो
हाँ but read slowly but read properly भाई मत कर
and threw it at the water truck with the ladder. I think it did not hit him, but suddenly that part of him that was left behind convulsed in dignified haste. Clatter sound produced. मतलब convulsed.
क्या मतलब
बंद करना
ये कंप्लीट कर
I think I did not hit him, but suddenly that part of him that was left behind convulsed in dignified haste.
मैंने नहीं पढ़ा फिर रहने के बाद में ही पढ़ते हैं
Clatter sound produced.
वापस रिपीट पढ़ते हैं
Violent movement.
बाद में पूरा
The
वापस
poet looked around looking for something to hit the snake with. He kept the pitcher down, lifted a log of wood and threw
इसको
it
ऐसे
in
नहीं
the-
करनी
नहीं
तू कंप्लीट करने के लिए पढ़ना है ऐसा मत कर कोई बात नहीं मैं पढ़ लूंगी तो ऐसा पढ़ना है
नहीं पढ़ता हूँ
और रीडिंग जस्ट
ठीक है चलेगा
बाद में रीडिंग नो ऑलरेडी बोल कौन बेटा किधर नीचे अभी जा रहा है इनको चाहिए क्या यार